What is up, Pokepeeps? My name is Socrates101, and today we are back with another team builder. I know I did a team builder on a Mega Heracross team, but I tried it a couple times, and there is no saving that. It was an idea in my head. Thought it could work, doesn't work. Not even low ladder. So I just decided, you know what? Let's not do that. Another question before we start this thing now is because I have. My recent video, actually, I got some remarks about calling you guys Pokepeeps from catching Z's and Parahucks. Just asking whether that's a good idea or not to keep doing, because I got remarks, but no one said whether it was a good thing or a bad thing, so let me know. So this time we are going to start a new series. Let's go back to UU. This is my favorite tier ever. Well, it used to be until everything now is bulky as all hell, and we are going to try and break that bulky stuff with a very offensive team, which we are going to be building. So a very underused Pokemon in the current metagame is Mega Ampharos. It's UU. It deserves to be UU, but for some reason it's underappreciated. So let's try and fix that. So Mega Unfroze is going to be running Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Dragon Pulse, and Focus Blast. With the Mamoswine meta right now, a lot of people tend to try and predict your Volt Switch and then switch into Mamoswine. As soon as you can predict that, you can hit it up with a Focus Blast or Dragon Pulse. Focus Blast actually OHKOs, and I do think Dragon Pulse is about 70-80%. So that really limits Mamoswine. So Mamoswine is a check to this, but it's not a counter. It is not a counter. So first thing we're going to do is put 48 into speed, because after the Mega Evolution you lose some speed. But with these 48 speed EVs, you're actually able to outspeed base 50s, which is, for example, no speed Donphan, which shouldn't be a thing, but is a thing. So the rest of the EVs are pretty obvious. We're just going to go with max special attack, and the rest we're going to dump in HP, which already gives us an odd HP number, which is phenomenal, right? And we are going to be using a modest nature with this monstrosity. I do think for my first or second episode, I'm going to ask Parahucks to make like a guest appearance, since he used his team as well, and he at first he didn't like it, and he was about to tell me, Socrates, this team is garbage, and then he started using it a bit more, and then he, started to like it. Well, this is a team that is built around Entei. We want to pivot into Entei as much as possible, because UU has limited switch-ins, mainly bulky waters, and that's why we have Ampharos. That's why I do think that these two work very well together. We're gonna go with the nice and obligatory choice band. Pressure, I don't think has Flash Fire just yet. Shout out to Flash Fire, by the way. I love that guy. So we're gonna use Sacred Fire. We're gonna be using Stone Edge. Extreme Speed, because also that's obligatory. And as I said, the only thing that really counters this guy is bulky water types. And we could run Flare Blitz, but since this is an offensive team, battles tend to be relatively short, and you're going to be clicking Sacred Fire the majority of time anyway. So what I decided to do instead of Flare Blitz, I decided to throw Toxic on this guy. Yeah, I clicked on accident, but it works. So we're just gonna go with the Adamant Nature. Entei has a beastly attack stat, nice stab move. Sacred Fire has a 50% chance to burn and 100 base attack power. Sacred Fire almost never misses. The only thing that's unfortunate is its PP. However, so as soon as you predict a bulky water to switch in, you can either double out into Ampharos, or you can try and hit it up with a Toxic, which is very beneficial, trying to end that guy's life relatively fast. So here we go. Our next member on the team is something that should be able to take hits, because these two are kind of frail. Ampharos is slow and frail, so I decided to go with an offensive variant, but also a bulky variant, and that is Assault Vest Slowking with Regenerator. The moves it's carrying are Scald, Psychic, because I do think Psychic is more beneficial over Psyshock in the current metagame, and then things just to hit certain Pokemon's hard. This is to hit Salamon's really hard with an Ice Beam, yeah, definitely OHKO it, and then the rest of it we are going to, well, the other thing is going to be Fire Blast. just for general coverage and everything is great. We're just gonna go with the recommended EV spread right here because there is no need to not do that. That's Slow King basically there for general coverage, taking some hits left and right, especially special hits. And our next mon is going to be something that gets rid of hazards, which is my favorite thing on very offensive teams in UU. That has to be Crobat, as DMT likes to call this thing obligatory bat. It's really good. It solves a lot of issues on my team. It gives me a switch into fighting mons like Mienshao, Heracross, all the good stuff really. So this nice and standard stat I'm going to be running is no item, acrobatics. I keep forgetting infiltrator to put infiltrator on this guy, but that's basically for like sub Chandelure, annoying mons like that, with things that just tend to set up a substitute in your face when being at low health. Acrobatic just goes straight through that and tends to pick them off pretty easily. So we go with acrobatics, U-turn, and then the nice and standard defog plus roost. The thing we want to outspeed, so wait, I know the speed from the top of my head, is we want to outspeed Mega Pidgeot. I mean, we do have a switch in, we do kind of have two switch ins, but we want to like U-turn out. We want to, as soon as it's weak, want to be able to take it out with an acrobatic. As soon as it may, sub workup can be a set. I won't recommend that to anyone, but it can be a set. So then we can hit it with an infiltrator acrobatics. The speed that Mega Pidgeot hits with his 121 base speed is a maximum of 375. So what we want to be running is 376, which is 184 EVs in speed with the timid nature, and then we are going to dump everything into HP because we want Crobat to be as bulky as possible. And that wait, why am I running minus attack? This should be Jolly. That should be Jolly. And then we're just going to dump the rest in attack because we like our Crobat a bit powerful. So that's going to be our Crobat, nice and once more as DMT calls it, obligatory bat. The second to last Pokemon is actually going to be something that sets up rocks on my side of the field, and this is going to be the Gargle Floppian plus Rock Socratesian Crocodile with the Drep Plate just to hit the knockoffs and the pursuits a tiny bit harder. But if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know what this kind of set is. This is a defensive Crocodile. It's decently standard, I do think. So we're just gonna go with knockoff, Earthquake. Oh, Con type. Earthquake, and then Pursuit. As soon as I could type, that would be great for now. But we're just going to go with the max HP once again, 248, because we want that odd number of HP, because that it not only lowers the damage output by hazards, by entry hazards, but also lowers the damage output from things like burn. It's only 1 HP, but maybe it matters every now and then. I have no idea, probably doesn't. But we want to run 28 in speed because defensive Arcanine, which is base 95 speed, hits 226 speed without any investment. So before it wisps us, before it does nasty stuff to us, maybe when it's low on health, we can actually pursue and take it out with an Earthquake, or at least do significant damage to that mon, and then proceed after we got Wisp to maybe knock it out with an Earthquake, or maybe get up our hazards, as he is going to go for a Morning Sun since he's forced to do that. The rest of my EVs are going to be dumped into defense. We are going to be running, I do think that's called an Impish Nature. I'm trying to learn the natures because I usually tend to put a plus and a minus sign there, but maybe it sounds a bit more professional when we're doing this. So what I did notice is that we lack Fighting Stop, and Fighting Stop is something I really like in the UU metagame. So I was thinking about nice and standard Machamp, but that's a bit slow, so I wanted something that was fast, that was physically offensive, and I decided, you know what, I had a team with this guy once and I want to use it again. So we're just going to use Virizion, and the item, I thought about the item for quite a bit. And since we are quite ice weak right now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm pointing at my screen right now. We have 1 ice weakness after it mega evolves. We have 2 ice weakness, 3 ice weakness, 4 ice weaknesses. So I decided, you know what? Let me just go with a Yachi Berry. So that's what Virizion is going to be carrying. It's going to carry Justify, so this is actually our knockoff switch in as well, and then it gets to +1. But the Virizion spread that we're going to be using is going to be a Sword Stand set with the obvious Close Combat, Leaf Blade, and Stun Edge. Stun Edge is nice coverage because Close Combat and Leaf Blade are both walled by Bug and Flying. So people tend to switch in flying type Pokemon on Virizion all the time. It also both get walled by Chandelure, which is another good example right here. So that's why we're running Stone Edge, because we hit Bugs for super effective damage, we hit Flying for super effective damage, and Chandelure, which has a very specific typing being Ghost and Fire. So once more, we're just going to go with the nice and standard EV spread, not special attack though, with the attack stat. And I do think this time we are going to be running Jolly Nature. There we go. The last 4 EVs don't really matter. I just tend to put them into defense, since we already have a massive specially defensive stat. Can't speak today, but that's going to be the team. If there's anything you don't like about this team, maybe the item on this guy, maybe you see a very solid replacement for Virizion that is also fast and fighting stab. I did think about Mienshao, but I decided against it. I can't really remember why I did that, but I know I did that. And that's going to be it for today's video. Be looking forward to the next one. I'm going to try and catch Parahacks tonight to do a recording with this. Maybe that's going to be part 1, maybe that's going to be part 2. Who knows? I sure don't. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.